Hello and welcome back to another popcorn chat. In this video I'm going to be speaking to you about a documentary called Doctor Who Am I? Being a Doctor Who fan myself and growing up on the new Who era, I was very excited when this dropped in my inbox. I was like, yes please, can I have a screener? I'm very much intrigued about this documentary. The TV show has been a big part of my life growing up, so I was curious to check this out, even though it was surrounding an area that I wasn't too familiar with. So the film follows Matthew Jacobs, who wrote the 90s TV movie that was trying to set Paul McGann as the 8th Doctor into this sort of new generation and make this sort of American sort of spin-off, but it didn't really pan out that way. So the film follows Matthew Jacobs, who is very sort of reluctant to be dragged back into this American sort of Who-universe. We are following him and a weekend at a convention for Doctor Who fans, and that documentary kind of focuses on him and his sort of understanding of the fandom and sort of coming to terms with the reception of the piece that he wrote. I think this is a well-constructed documentary. It really sort of lets you understand who Matthew Jacobs is, because I didn't know who he was going into this. I've never seen the TV movie, but I will definitely go and search it out after watching this documentary. And I knew Paul McGann was loved by a lot of fans, but I've never seen it, never sought it out. And I think they construct it in a really good way, sort of following the screenwriter rather than just maybe the fan base. They follow this specific guy who is involved within the creation of Doctor Who and has that sort of personal knowledge. We learn that his dad was in some of the older sort of, first Who episodes. And yeah, it's very much a personal story. And we get that through the documentary as we sort of see him really understanding, why do people go to these conventions? Do people hate me? Do they not hate me? And we see his journey in this film. I think they have a good use of clips from the TV film, the TV series itself, and any sort of fan clips, be it from, this couple that I recognise from being on Graham Norton and has all the Doctor's tattoos, or if it's the convention footage. I think they edit it really well to sort of blend that and let you have a good understanding. Even if you aren't too aware of this world and of this fandom, I think you get a good understanding. As I mentioned, they base this sort of documentary around Matthew Jacobs, but also around the timescale of a sort of long weekend following fans in America at a Doctor Who fan convention. And it's interesting to see how much bigger they go than they do here in the UK. They do make a comment that, a lot of UK fans maybe wear T-shirts and that's it. Whereas in America, they like to cosplay. So I liked that aspect. There's a really cool cosplay show in the middle of it. But I liked the setting, and that sort of allowed Matthew to have interviews with fans, other actors who are appearing there. I mean, we see Paul McGann, we see Daphne Ashbrook. So it was great to see those specific actors for the film that he wrote, but also there's a few other actors we notice in the background from Doctor Who. If you're a fan, you'll notice who they are. But yeah, it was interesting having that time frame for Matthew Jacobs to sort of work around, finding out a bit more about himself and how fans reacted to his work. I do think at times we can sort of see Matthew Jacobs and other people's sort of ignorance towards fandoms and the conventions, and maybe not fully understanding why people do it. There's a few comments in there that made me sort of cringe, and I didn't really like. But I pin that down to ignorance of that sort of world. As I go to conventions myself, you've probably seen some vlogs on the channel, or just, aware that I'm a big fan of, TV and film and love to go to a convention and meet other people that are like-minded. So some of those comments sort of I didn't really like. But other than that, I think it's a well-constructed documentary. I think it looks pretty good. The production level's okay. Maybe some different cameras might have helped, but I think generally it's really good, and I think the filmmakers involved really sort of get the best out of Matthew Jacobs and get that sort of journey that he goes through. I won't spoil too much, but he definitely has some kind of realization of this world, and I think that wouldn't have been able to be done without, the sort of filmmakers involved in this film. I would highly recommend this to any Doctor Who fan if you are a massive fan, maybe just you've only seen a few episodes. I think you'll like this. It gives enough context to this specific writer and the film that they made, because it's only one film, you don't have to worry about a whole TV series, but a general knowledge on the Whoniverse would be pretty good to have, I would say, going into this. So I think most people will like this. So I'm going to give Doctor Who Am I 3 out of 5 stars. Thank you very much for watching my review of Doctor Who Am I. I hope you guys enjoyed it and maybe it's piqued your interest. Are you a big Doctor Who fan? Is this something that maybe wasn't on your radar but now you've heard about it? You're going to go and watch it. I think you should definitely go and check it out. It comes out on DVD and Blu-ray and any sort of digital downloads from the 28th of November. So not too long to wait, but I think you'll like this if you are a fan of Doctor Who. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you very soon for another popcorn chat.